Jai Shri Krishna to all. Welcome to Path to Anandam Gita series, Freedom from Pains and Miseries, to happy, healthy and peaceful life, based upon 108 mantras to awaken your soul. And Srimad Bhagavad Gita, my questions and God's answers. Today's series number 84. Learn to become like God. Narse Narayan. So pranam to Guruji Hariharji Maharaj for his blessings, his guidance, and bringing us together this morning. And thank you to Lord Krishna for his supreme blessings. I'm Satya Kalra, your host of Path to Anandam and today's session. And whatever you see on this page, all the bestsellers on Amazon, counseling, giving the messages to the universe, wherever it's possible, it all comes from the blessings of Lord Krishna and Hariharji Maharaj, Guruji. In today's series, how I can become like God. So we have to learn here, and the Gita's verses today are 20 to 26, and mainly focus that, but there will be several other verses will be taken in account, and where we have already studied together what are gunas, their types, how to identify those gunas and effect of gunas in our current life and in future, and how to transform these. That will be the focus of the today. And what are the hallmarks of Gunatit? What are the benefits? How to practice? And again, I qualify for oneness. I am Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi. And let's all pray to Bhagwan Krishna Ji, just like Arjun when he was in Vishad. And similarly, we are the Arjuna of today, which we struggle. We face many challenges, confusions, fear, worries, basically Vishad, and ask for his guidance to lead us, take us beyond all these worldly Vishads and establish us with him. So our Vishad becomes Vishad Yog, just like Arjuna, where Arjuna initially said, Na jotasiti gobindam, I will not perform my duty, righteous duty, because he thought it was not a righteous duty. And then after his blessings, Lord Krishna's blessings, he transformed after going through that blissful journey with him. And finally he said, Karishye vachanam tav, I will do as you advise. So let's all transform ourselves and go on this blissful journey together. So let's ask for his advice and pray to him very humbly. Karpanye dosho pahte svabhava prachyami tvam dharma sammudha cheta shishya saisyani nishchitam bhuya tanme shishyaste ham shadi mam tvam prapanyam shishyaste ham shadi mam tvam prapanyam shishyaste ham shadi mam tvam prapanyam. My heart is overpowered by the weakness of pity. I have lost all my composure And my mind is controlled by worries, fears, and confusion. I don't know what to do and what not to do. So I'm seeking your advice. I'm requesting you, please guide me, whatever is best for me. So I humbly request to you. And then Sri Krishna Bhagwan Ji, his divine company, blessed him and poured all the wisdom of Bhagavad Gita, which is a step-by-step spiritual instruction manual to live righteously. It teaches us how to know our gunas and transcend from them, which are our limitations, and attain ultimate freedom from all the miseries, eternal happiness, peace, oneness, and become like God, Satya Ananda, while living in the material world Maya, and then beyond means ParamDham. And all these is put together, the whole paragraph is put together, combining several quotations from Hariharji Maharaj. And that's why it says Swami Hariharji Maharaj. So this blissful journey to ParamDham, oneness, ultimate supreme peace, through knowing your gunas, your nature, and then practicing it. So it's not just the learning here, but actually the practicality of it. Gita is all about practice. So how we can go beyond our limitations. And there are different ways in Bhagavad Gita has given in 700 verses, where 574 verses were given by Bhagwan Krishna Ji, explaining in 1 to 6 chapters, because each chapter, 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita are called yoga. So first 6 chapters are karma yoga, how to experience, become Nar to Narayan through karma yoga. And then understanding all is God, everything is God. So how to develop that love and devotion toward him and become his dearest. So he explains in chapter 7 to 12. And then now we are in the last session, that Gyan Yoga, Wisdom Yoga, chapter 13 to 18. And we are now on the chapter 14, Gyan Traya Vibhag Yoga. So understanding fully what are gunas, how to practice them. And today, again, verse 28 to 27, which is the last verse, we will be covering it. And going from here, it says, man to God, Nar to Narayan. So ultimate summary of Bhagavad Gita through the different yogas, different practices, we reach to realizing who am I? I am Satchit Anand. Aham Brahmasmi. So Gunatraya Vibhag Yoga, the path of knowing the division of 3 gunas in details and transcending them through self-purification, self-transformation, and becoming gunatit, means beyond limitations, and finally realizing. So in the previous session, we learned that urdhmula. Here it says, the sattvic, those who are established in good, who are in sattvic, they go to heaven. Who are in the middle, rajasic, they are right in this bhu word, which is in this word going over and over birth and death, because they are empowered by that passion. And then the below is the ignorance, the tamasic, not knowing what to do, what not to do, how to live the life, and living like animals. Like, when the dog is trained, cat is trained, similarly, these people's brain is also brainwashed. So they go to lower kingdom, which is called hell, or lower animal or plants or whatever, but not as a human being. So here they are human being. Here they are the supreme higher human being with the higher conscious level, who go to the heaven. And then finally, with practices, they go to ParamDham, or they just absorb and enjoy their life and finish their good karmas and come back. So, union with God through self-realization through the path of transcending three gunas. How do these gunas impact our destiny? What are the cause and effect? So, cause and effect is very simple. Whatever style of life we live, whatever we do in this world, we reach to hell, and it's not that hell we go to after we die. Basically, even we are in deep, deep, deep pains and miseries. And then in the rajasic is sometimes we are feeling happy, sometimes we are feeling sad, up and down, kabhi khushi, kabhi gum. And then sattvic, we are always in happiness. Most of the time we are in happiness, and we continue to practice it. So we are talking about Gunatit. And actually, this is not the first time we are hearing Nistray Guna Bhav Arjuna. Bhagwan Krishna has previously, very first advice to Arjuna was given was Nistray Guna Bhav Arjuna. Triguna Vishya Veda. This Triguni Maya. You go beyond it. And how you go beyond it was well explained over there. But here again, now he's explaining more detail that what he means by Gunatit, what he means by free from gunas, become Gunatit. So these are the three gunas again as described: tamasic, rajasic, sattvic. Tamasic, which is the lowest level, where ignorance, not knowing what to do, what not to know, and laziness, basically living in miseries. And in the middle is rajasic, where passion, everything, too many desires, too much greed, all that. Ego, attachment, all those 5 + 2 enemies, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Ahankar, jealousy, resentment, everything comes with that. And then the sattvic one, where one is in love, peace, Anandam, staying all the time in spiritual practices, doing sadhanas. So here, Krishna Bhagwan Ji explains here further, but here he gives one more tip here before we go to what is Gunatit. Here is Guna netantitte triyan dehi te samudbhavan janma mrityu jaradukha vimukto amratam ashnute. When one transcends the three gunas that create the body, one is free from the pains of birth, old age, death, pains and miseries, and can enjoy the supreme bliss even in this life and also attain immortality. So what he's saying, transcending the guna is the path to nirvana. So we are made with three gunas. This whole universe is made with triguni maya. And these three gunas are important for us to live in this world. Like sleep is a part of tamasic part. Tamasic, we have to sleep. So we need to sleep. As mentioned before, we need a passion. Without setting the goals and working toward it with passion, then how could we fulfill our goals? How could we run our families? But here, Lord Krishna says, yes, needs versus wants. The whole thing goes with the Prajahati yada kaman sarvan manogatan atmanev atmana tushta sthit pragasya do uchate. This he brings the sthit pragya part. Again repeating here in the different form of gunati, but he has already mentioned that in chapter 2, that the biggest disaster comes from in our life is caused by our desires. So Prajahati yada kaman, we have to go, just live with the needs, not with too many wants, which drives us crazy. So many things he suggests, but here he's basically saying all these 5 + 2 enemies cause pains and miseries, and we have to know what to practice, how to live, not to live in ignorance, not to live in the tamasic nature, but understand and continuously practice our sadhana. Then we can enjoy this world as well as we feel the supreme bliss. So, what does it mean by gunatit? What are the hallmarks of gunatit person? Because it says, Lord Krishna has already mentioned that he is not born with any, he's beyond the gunas. He's gunatit. So what are the hallmarks of gunatit? And what he meant by, and as I mentioned, he also mentioned equanimity before. Karma yogi. Well, all these hallmarks are karma yogi, muni, sannyasi, tattva-darshavi, enlightened person, a spiritual person. So again, he just kind of reminds us that what is gunatit. But why he reminds us? Because Arjuna is asking that question, similar question which he asked in verse 258 in chapter 2, that what are the sign of sthit prajna, equanimous person, how that person lives, how he behaves, how he sits, how he speaks. All those questions are again, he is asking right here, that how this person is gunatit person behaves, how he sits, how he lives his life. And Bhagavan Krishna explains it again, the same thing what he said before. Udasin, balanced, not up and down, not yo-yo game. Go beyond, free yourself from 5 + 2 enemies, like equanimous, be udasin. And then again, calm growth here, desires, free you from your ego, I-ness, minus, mera, I am. They are free from jealousy, fear, pains, pleasures, criticism, nindya, prasancha, samjise, moni, sada, santusht. They're always, here it says, tulya, priyo, here is again, dhir, tulya, ninda, again, Just like chapter 12, he explains very well in all those from verses 12, starting from 12, but is focusing from 13 to 20, how to become his dearest. All these points were covered over there. He's basically now is telling us the same thing in different context. And then he adds one more thing here. He says, clay equal gold, where everything, here he says, that when one does not crave for the gold, because for that person gold and dirt is equal. There is a beautiful story about this, that one saint was going toward Himalayas with his wife. And he himself thought he was the saint. He practices all the sadhanas and all that. So he considered himself as a higher conscious level person. So when they were walking toward Himalayas, he saw one golden necklace filled with diamonds. So he covered with the sand over there because his wife was following, and he thought that she will be picking up that necklace and bringing, and that will disturb his sadhana. So his wife, when she passed through that, even though it was covered with the sand, she uncovered it, she picked up the necklace, and she took that necklace with her. And she walked faster toward him, and when she reached to him, she handed him that necklace. And he was shocked that how come she knew that there was a necklace there. So she hands to him, and then she grabs it back from him. And she throws it so far. And he asked her, why did you do it? She says, we are on this journey. What's the difference between this sand and the necklace? So he was shocked that she was equally on that high level. So in other words, she was also on Gunati path, on that journey to the same level as he was. So for her, gold necklace was equal to a sand, clay. Also, he adds few more things here. Bhagavan Krishna says, the person who is beyond gunas, gunatit, he is beyond doership. He thinks this is all play of gunas. Now here the question comes, if everything is play of gunas, then why do we bother? We are puppet of gunas. Whatever is it we are doing, we are not doing it. Our gunas are making us do it, which Lord Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. But there is a next point. Know the play of gunas. That gunas are playing. But there is a supreme power beyond that. And that power is Satchit Anand, Bhagwan, God, whatever you want to name it. So he is also teaching us that, of course, it's a play of gunas. Everything is cause and effect. So we have a free will. We are not like animals that we just live the life based on our previous karmas. Here we have an opportunity to improve ourselves. We have a free will, whether we want to be slave of gunas or we want to be master of gunas. So he gives us the tip how to become the masters, which we will discuss further. But here, that's what he adds one more point. Impartial. In other words, equal to friends and foes. Not like Dhritarashtra, where Mamka took over and whole Mahabharata resulted into Mahabharata because of his Mamka. Although there are many, many reasons, one can go into it. But here, with this point, Dhritarashtra's Mamka caused a major problem. And that person is self-satisfied and liberated. Santushta. So he's not with Sarvarambha Parityagi. You know, this word has come in chapter 12 also. Tulya Ninda Prasansha. All Moni Sada Santush, Sukha Dukha, all these words have repeatedly and fully satisfied and liberated. And then how he does it? He lives in this world, but he witnesses it because he sees everything is played by Lord Krishna, by God. And he sees God in all, not only in human beings or living beings or non-living beings. The person sees God in every activity, in every situation. And he says, Jo Thakur ki kripa, Jo Thakur ki Prabhu, Jo Prabhu ki marzi hai. You know, when you sit with so many saints, our Swamiji in Paramarth Niketan, he always says, Jo Thakur ki marzi. Same thing, Gyananand ji says a similar word. Thakur ki jo marzi hai. You know, you go to, it's so much pleasure to meet saints. And all this is all divine power. It's all divine power. But the beauty of that is, with that divine power, we have within that divine power within us, and we should practice all this so we can be big witness. Because this chapter is, he says, what does Gunatit? Gunatit means witnessing. Witness, witness, witness. That's why I put all the time witness on the top, the eyes on the top, live in awareness and witness. So the person in the state of equanimity is called the Gunatit. So here you see the Gunatit, free from all, Narse Narayan, how to become man, God from man. Develop all these qualities, which is also called divine qualities. But one thing you might be wondering, and the question comes, we're all talking about qualities here, all non-duality part of it. And we say, Bhagwan ji ke darshano, Bhagwan ji, he is so beautiful, his hairs are curly, his body is this, and he is this. We all talk about his Sakar Roop. So then what happened to Sakar Roop? Because we are talking about all these qualities, all the non-duality qualities of him. And these qualities are also present in the form, whether he is a formless or form, whether he's Sakar or Nirakar Roop. All those qualities persist in Gunatit. So with all these qualities, one is called Gunatit Sauchita. So Gunatit, who is Gunatit? Who possesses all these qualities, known Gunatit. And God possesses all these qualities, and he asks, giving us, motivating us, how you can become like me. Practice these qualities. Live in the consciousness of supreme power. Be calm, witness. So here is another verse which comes, which tells us, Macha yoga bhicharen bhakti yogen sevate sa gunan samite tant brahma bhuvaya kalpate. One who constantly serves me with love and devotion, unfalling in all circumstances, transcend the gunas, 3 gunas of material nature, and thus becomes eligible for nirvana. Eligible. So how to practice this? These are the prerequisitions to moksha, oneness, becoming gunati, unconditional service to me with love and devotion. Then one can go beyond tamasic, rajasic, and even beyond sattvic nature. As I mentioned before, sattvic nature, we have to go beyond sattvic nature, because sattvic nature, good karmas take us to heaven. But that's not the ultimate destination, which we discussed previously in Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna has explained that heaven is not your final destination. You have to go beyond ParamDham. You have to, so you become gunati beyond that, and then you go to Brahman. So he is talking about here Brahma Bhuva. He's not talking about the Sakar Roop. He's talking about Nirakar Roop. Brahman, you can become the Brahman, Satchit Anand. So Jeev Atma to Paramatma. And here it says man to Brahman, but as basically it's an animal to Brahman, because when we are in the tamasic behavior, we even don't know what we are doing. We behave like animals. And so animals to man and man to Brahman. And there's beautiful, Swamiji used to say, कि भगवान बनने की कोशिश मत करो, भगवान बनना तो अभी बहुत टाइम लगेगा, लेकिन फर्स्ट यू बिकम इंसान, अपनी एनिमल क्वालिटीज, रेज योर कॉन्शियस लेवल टू द ह्यूमन बीइंग, एंड देन यू विल experience humanity, and then you will qualify, you will be on that beautiful journey of self-realization. So again, one more thing comes, how and why to transcend from gunas attributes. Again, this verse, again, I put it in the form of now the practices. So, ma yo vicharan bhakti yogen sevate, with bhakti, seva, with love and devotion, one can go from tamasic behavior, where we are, tamasic is what? Worries, anger, greed, feeling pains and miseries, insomnia, facing all the diseases, not knowing what to do, what not to do. That's all is vishad, or we can say at that time the tamasic level, because Bhagwanji told Arjuna very first, because he realized Arjuna was at the tamasic behavior at that time, very low conscious level. And that's why he tells him, Nistray Guna Bhav Arjun. Arjun, you go beyond your limitations, go beyond your gunas. And then he tells here, Brahma Bhuvaya Kalpate. So Brahman, here, those, again I will read this, those who serve me with love and devotion rise above the three modes of gunas, material nature, and become eligible. Here is the point, become eligible to come to the level of Brahman. We are talking about not merging yet, becoming eligible by doing the service with love and devotion. Now, why, even though there is a bhakti yoga over there, which is the most easiest one to practice, according to Bhagavad Gita, Swamiji used to always say, it is the center of the Bhagavad Gita, and the heart is in the center. So you just connect with your heart and you are there. So it's the easiest path. But he focuses here, he's telling us, serve me with love and devotion means karma yoga. Practice your karma yoga. How you practice goodness. Because with karma yoga, because we are living in this world, we have to do the action. So with karma yoga, we must practice seva with love, because when we practice karma yoga, we little by little, we transform ourselves and we become more humble and we learn how to surrender. So karma yoga supersedes according to this particular verse here. But then he says love and devotion means bhakti. Without bhakti yoga, you cannot do that. And then now he's teaching us the Gyan yoga. So all the three yogas, karma yoga, bhakti yoga, and Gyan yogas are need to be practiced here. And then we can become the Gunatit here. So the ultimate benefit is that we are ready to now to reach to ParamDham, to experience Aham Brahmasmi. So the ultimate reality comes here. For certain, I am the abode of imperishable Brahman, immortal and everlasting righteousness, dharma, and of supreme bliss. Again, as I mentioned, non-duality, because all these qualities, Brahman is immortal, everlasting, righteousness, dharma, all that. He does not talk about Sakar Roop, ki come and see me, like in chapter 11, we saw Vishwaroop, where he was Sakar Roop. He's not talking about his Sakar Roop. He's talking about the non-duality roop. So Vasudev Sarvamiti, God is all. So now, how to practice it? The practice part comes here. Go beyond your limitations. Rise and attain liberation, oneness. Transform your habits, aptitude, gunas, become Sakshi. And then animal to man and man to God, Brahman. Narse Narayan, again the same. And how to reprogramming of the mind. This is all reprogramming of the mind with meditation, what learning all this. Because by doing meditation and by practicing our sadhana, if you look at from scientific point of view, it changes the neuropath of our nervous system. And we are not in the same auto responses. Like when we drive the car, we automatically sometimes take the exit or sometimes automatically put our foot on the brake when we see different car. And when we want to pick up the speed, automatically we put our pedal on the gas or whatever electric part nowadays is the many different options. But the point here is auto responses are there. And we have to change the path of those auto responses with our spiritual practices. So live in awareness, what we are doing, our action. And through the action, because cause and effect, we can change our behavior, tamasic to rajasic to sattvic, and finally become gunati and merge, not just eligible, but merge with Brahman, ultimate reality. Satchit Ananda. So here again, once we are on this path of self-transformation, then we are beyond birth and death and experience just like Hariharji Maharaj. Here you can see this. So our homework is be aware and ask myself, yourself. So it's a time for self-inquiry. Swadhyaya Abhyasanam. So live, first of all, live in awareness and ask yourself, is my goal for oneness, experiencing the Satchit Anand? Do I live in awareness and observe my behavior? This is a key thing. We have to observe our behavior, like driving the car, and if the steering wheel, car goes on the right or left or different lane, steering wheel must be in our hand to bring it back. Otherwise, we will get into accidents. Similarly, we have to watch our behavior and align our behavior according to the teachings of Bhagavad Gita and on the goodness, the sattvic behavior. So the question comes, again, based on the qualities, the gunatit. Check our habits, check our emotions, because what are gunas? Bundle of emotions. All these you see, all these behaviors, these are the bundle of emotions. So we have to make sure we are in love and compassion, not in hatred. प्रेम जब अनंत हो गया तो रोम रोम संत हो गया, देवालय हो गया बदन, हृदय तो महंत हो गया. That hriday mahant we are talking about here. So, am I content or greedy? Am I disturbed or balanced or equanimous? Do I watch my tongue, my thoughts, my speech, my action? Am I mindfulness of higher conscious level, supreme power? Do I observe myself? Do I live like Sakshi? All these practices will take us to higher self because we will continue to improving ourselves. So once you are practiced to transcend witness and oneness, you become virtuous divine. So again, as Vivekananda says, arise, awake, and stop, not all till the goal is reached. So continue to practice, practice, practice. So our sankalpa, we had done many sankalpas before for this session, starting from series 81, which was, I know my swabhava, I know which guna is dominating in me at that particular time or in my regular life. I am on my blissful journey of self-transformation. And then previous one was, I rise above. And here I'm Gunatit, I'm Brahmasmi. So our finally destination is happy, healthy, and peaceful life and experience Satchit Ananda. But have a patience. It's not a something that we just like a rabbit, we can jump. It's like a turtle. So our sankalpa today is, I'm Gunatit, I am Brahmasmi. So by practicing, by putting the seed of learning the gunas, we little by little reach to the final destination. And that's where it says, Shanai Shanai Upparne Buddhya Buddhi Grehita. Atma Sanchay Samakratva na Kinchit na Kinchit Chintayet. Means we just focus on the living the supreme powers consciousness. So thank you very much. How to become like God, Brahmasmi. I hope this session brings some transformation, awareness in all of our life. And we stay on this path of self-transformation and self. Once we are, we will experience the ultimate peace. I am full confidence that we